Ladies and gentlemen, one of my subscribers sent me their chess.com account, and I took a look at some of their games. And let me tell you, it is absolutely insane. In this video, I will be showing you a chess game played between two people with blitz ratings of 135 and 108. Friendly reminder, the lowest elo you can have on an online chess account is 100. Back in the day, that meant you don't know anything. These players actually have some decent fundamentals, but it is still absolute chaos. And if you notice, I'm wearing a Sacrifice the Rook shirt, and I also have one like this. And there's many others. If you'd like to get them, go to GothamChess.store. I'll put a link in the description, top line. We've got some limited edition merch for all of you. This is a very highly demanded shirt and a very highly demanded phrase. Now, we're going to get into this game. We have Germany, we have Argentina represented. I put maybe Messi because you never know who's playing. I don't think it's Messi though. And the Gotham sub. Now, this is crazy. So just throw this up on the TV, watch it on the phone. Here we go. E4. E6. At top level chess, this is known as the French defense. At 100 level chess, this is known as... The point of E6 is to play a building block style opening, okay? One other thing. A lot of you are going to watch this video and you're going to laugh, but you're also going to see similar mistakes in your own games. So don't laugh too hard because you've got to learn something. Building block opening builds toward the center. The Argentinian 135 rated player develops the knight. This is perfect. I will also tell anybody watching, beginner or intermediate, if you are playing an opening and you can put two pawns in the center because the opponent hasn't threatened to take one of them, you generally should. Two pawns in the center is good. Now, what you should not do is play f5. So the game began as a French defense. This is the French after about 4 to 5 glasses of Sauvignon, you know, whichever one you want, whichever one you want to drink. You know, down a couple of those, and this is the mirror image. You now start driving on the other side of the road. Not good. All right, don't do that. Now, the reason this is so bad is because white can take, and the computer evaluates the position very favorably for white due to the open lines to the black king, certain weaknesses. None of that matters at this level. White jumps in, knight to e5. Very powerful move, right? So this is the 135 rated player going to battle with the horse. Now, again, if there's any one thing you learn from this video, you cannot win a battle with one horse. It's not possible. Pretty sure Genghis Khan said that. That's somewhere in his diary. You can't win a battle with one horse. Now, maybe there are other ideas, but this is not going to work out. And here black develops with knight to f6. This actually is a miracle because white was threatening the move queen h5. Whether white knew that is another story. Now white takes on f5. Great move. Love this move. That's what should have been played on the previous move. But here at this point, what we should be doing is two pawns in the center, knight, bishop, etc. Pawn takes f5, and white plays the move bishop c4. It's a great move. Great move. I wish we did it on the previous move, right? Now it's very clear white is ready to go with knight to f7. Typical idea. Fried liver. Everybody learns it. If you don't know what the fried liver is, learn it. Learn it in a YouTube video, learn it on Chessly, my educational platform, whatever. All right? But that's the idea. Now, black here does what a lot of beginners do. Black says, horse. Me attack horse? Yeah, me attack horse, obviously. And then the thought process of a beginner is, well, if he doesn't move it, I'm going to take it. Duh. Not totally stupid. Problem is, you know, this was the idea. Now, as it turns out, that's not even the best move. And actually, as white is about to show us, when you're rated 135, nothing is quite as important as delivering a check. I wouldn't be surprised if white thought the game was going to end. Like I thought, you know, maybe white just thought bishop f7, black's king just blows up. It's not how that works. Black can go here, And now what's funny about this position is in the previous position, your knight was hanging. In this position, your bishop will be hanging too. That is why on the previous move, we should have either gone forward with the knight, which would have been a fork, or we should have gone back with the knight. Now we have bishop f7, king e7, but this is just the beginning of the shenanigans. These 100 rated players are about to do so much more. Here we go. White now goes, my bishop is a little stuck. I'm going to go here. It's a buffet. All you can eat. Take the knight, take the bishop. Two things hanging in the middle of the board. Black, sharp-minded, 108 is like, wait a minute, the bishop just moved on a square, I can take it. Now, keep in mind, black already forgot about this. Already forgot. The random access memory of computers is evolving. As a 100, it's actively regressing. Like, the move you played 2 moves ago doesn't exist anymore. There's also just an inherent blind spot of pawn captures because they move diagonally. Pawns only go forward for beginners, right? This is a very well-spotted move. And now, obviously, white should save the knight because you don't want to lose the knight. But white goes queen h5. Queen h5 low-key. And I do say very low-key. It's extremely low-key. It's low-key brilliant because queen f7 is literally checkmate. Like, again, whether white saw that or not, I don't know. I haven't spoken to maybe Messi from Argentina. Now black can take the knight, right? So black would be up a bishop and a knight, which would be a huge material advantage. Only drawback of black's position is the fact that the king already moved and is out in the open, and we know the king wants to go hide. And if you don't know that, the king wants to go hide in castle. All good. Black plays this move g6. Not a terrible move, but it allows what's called a tactic. White can now take this, and when this happens, there is a rook hanging at the end. Again, a little bit above the pay grade. Instead, what white sees is the pawn is attacking the queen, so I got to move the queen. So we give a check. Now, at this point, black has several legal moves. Black can move the king. There's a few ways to get out of a check. One of them is moving the king. One of them is blocking the check. The other is taking the piece, right? That's not possible. So we can block the check. Ain't no way black is going to see that. Now, black can also move the king to e8 and to e6. To e8, you defend your own queen. To e6, you lose your own queen. It's a 100 rated game. Of course, black went here. The eval bar can't even get up fast enough. Can't even get up fast enough. It's just queen takes queen. Now, if I gave you a few guesses here, there is no way you could guess white's next move. There's no way. Statistically speaking, maybe 300,000 people will watch this video. Maybe more. I don't know. Maybe tell me how many people have watched it. Somebody will guess it. But when I saw this move, I was like, I don't even know in what universe this move made sense. White here played queen g4. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, look, I'm going to try to explain, right? I think white was like, oh, my queen is under attack. I got to move the queen. But as a beginner, you got to realize pieces that are mirrored, they could take each other, right? Knights, bishops, like that, they see each other. That just so happened to be a free queen. This was safe. No other move was safe. Queen g4 is epic, right? I mean, just pure queen hang, knight hang. But black plays the most gangster move out of all of them. Black plays king. When I saw this position, I was like, I got to make a video. I mean, this is just dope. Like, this is, I got like 100 videos on this channel just purely for beginners. Probably like 500 when you add up all the guess the elo and the how to lose a chess and the how to win a chess. Like, we got so many things you could learn. I have never played a game or analyzed the game that looks like this. This is, I can guarantee you, this position has never happened in the history of chess. Ever. They say there are more possible chess positions than atoms in the universe. Let me tell you, this is a great example. Nobody has ever had this position after 10 moves. No humans, no robots, no dogs, no cats, no aliens. Nobody has ever had a position that looked like this. Nobody, except these two. These two have made history. And now white in this position remembered the basics. Like, don't bring out your queen. Don't blunder your queen. White castled. I love the mind of a chess beginner. It is just so fascinating to me, because it's like, It's like your brain just like, wait a minute, I haven't castled. I remember in that Gotham YouTube short I watched, he always says to castle. Not when you're going to be down 15 points of material. Your material at the beginning of the game is only worth 39 points. You can't be losing 15 of it that fast. Even more. You also lost a pawn, I think. No. Yeah, 15. Now, black follows the age-old principle here, which is when you can take something in one move, why not attack it again? Yeah, black played knight f6, re-attacking the queen. Both players just do not see this. It's just not there. And now white could have moved the queen, but gave a check. And black goes king d5. And what's crazy about this position is that it's equal. It's equal because in chess, material is very important. White is down a lot of material, but king safety is the second most important thing. And sometimes they are 1 and 2, like 1A, 1B. Yeah, and here this king just can't get the safety. The queen will always be bothering the king if white goes knight c3 and queen a4. Like, black could even lose this position very easily from here. But now white plays queen e2, and here I was like, oh, save the queen, but it was the wrong move. No problem. Black plays knight c6. Now it's mate in 2. Now it is mate in 2. Again, both players castling, and then was like, well, I haven't developed my knight. Gotham always says to develop the second knight. He does. Gotham does say that. That is, yes. I have definitely said to develop the knights in the middle of the board. Yeah, this is losing now, right? Queen b5 check is the winning move here. Just so happens because the king has to come forward. And then pawn to c3 is mate. Even if you don't find, I mean, the king's on d4. King can't be on the king. Got to be back there. Queen b5 check is the winning move. Unfortunately, instead of developing the knight or with the queen, white goes d3. That is just too passive, right? It's too passive of a move. The queen is now blocked. The king can definitely get away to safety, but more plot twists are going to arrive. It's very clear. You're about to see the idea. The black plays, by the way, the top computer move, even though you're rated 108. Only 8 points higher than the lowest possible elo a human being can have. This is the best move. Jumping in with the knight, clearing out a defensive route for the king, and attacking the queen, and maybe setting up a fork. And white here plays the move c4 check. It's not a bad move. Not a bad move by any stretch of the imagination. The king runs backwards. The king has had quite a journey, by the way. Like, let's just say, king has had quite a journey. White goes queen to d1. Now it's still a little scary for black. Queen a4, bishop e3 is going to remove the knight from the middle of the board. The next sequence of moves is just so outlandish and alien. I mean, I love this game. This game, I wish I could see, I wish we could put brain scanners on 100s and just see what lights up or doesn't in their brain as they play versus like a grandmaster. Like, which parts of the brain or anus are they using when they play a chess game? So black's next move is great. d5 is a brilliant move. It's an amazing move. You're trying to trade, you open up the dark squared bishop, right? Like, black's next move is bishop c5, you're going to see. Like, black, they didn't even know that they could do that. White plays rook e3. Rook e3 is fascinating. I got no idea what rook e3 is trying to do. Black plays knight to e6, and white plays queen e1. Yo, this is a battery. That's just a battery. You're trying to sacrifice the rook for the knight and the sacrifice the rook, by the way, available at GothamChess.store. You should really check it out in the description. Yeah, rook e6, queen e6 is on the table. And black plays bishop c5. White should absolutely play rook e6 and get the 2 pieces. Oh, of course that's what white should do. And that's what white does! The 135 rated player sacrificing the rook. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Bishop e6, queen e6. It's a winning trade. You get 6 points for 5. And you pick up 2 of black's pieces. This is incredible. And the best part is, on this next move, black goes king d7. I told you at the beginning of the game, when the queen gave the check on g5, I said there are 3 ways to get out of check. Move the king, block the check, take the attacking piece. This was one example where you can take the attacking piece. Instead, black went here. Black just straight up lost the knight. Just a pure knight. And now, on top of that, black's king is in the middle of the board. Pawn takes d5, bishop g5, knight c3. Like, this is a really, really double-edged position. This is anybody's game. White now plays the top computer move. Pawn takes d5. Both guys, even though rated 135 and 108, are trading top engine moves. And now white can get in the queen, white can get in the bishop, white can get in the knight. Maybe queen c3 is a fork. I'm so fast. What is black's next move? c6. And white is now winning for the first time in a minute, and you will not believe this. White finds the move to get a 3.0 advantage. There is only one move. It's not to take the pawn with check. A lot of you would be enchanted with that move. It's bishop to g5, played on the board. The comeback of the century, maybe of the millennia, dare I say, of all time. Bishop to g5, attacking the knight with a fork incoming. Black responds almost correctly. Of course, the rook should move and defend the knight. Instead, rook e8 is a catastrophic blunder because now bishop takes f6 arrives. And suddenly, it was white who lost all of their pieces at the beginning of the game, but now the queen is hanging, the rook is hanging, the game is over. There is a move here which is a miracle. Queen takes bishop is possible because if you take it, there is rook takes the queen. It's an X-ray tactic, a tactic through a piece, never going to happen in a million years. Instead, we get rook takes e6, and now all white has to do is to take the rook first with a check and then take the queen with a check. So like, for example, queen e6, king c7, this is check. Pawn takes e6, bishop takes queen. Even if it's not a check, you pick up the material. What you should not play is this. And now the game is over. It was a good video, my friends. White hallucinating, thinking only about the queen, forgetting that after the rook took this, the entire reason that you brought the rook into the position was with the support of the queen. And black here played rook takes e1. Just kidding. Of course, that did not happen. And the game goes on. Now, what did you think? You thought that was the end of the video. We are only getting started. Now, pawn takes rook. No. No. We're not getting pawn takes rook. What are you, crazy? Pawn takes rook. That would have been way too normal. Black takes the pawn on d5, which is fascinating that black remembered pawn can take diagonally that way when in the beginning of the game, black could have done that like 4 different times and just never did that. Black could have taken a pawn on that square, a queen on that square. Black could have taken a knight on that square, and black ends up taking this. Now black has 2 rooks and 2 bishops. Let's see what happens. White goes here. Good move. d4. Logical. I love it. This is good stuff. We got to move the knight. Okay, very good. If I'm playing black here, I just keep 1 move attacks. Genius. Now we got to go knight a3. Does white know that knights can go backwards? Absolutely not. No chance at all. 0 chance. That was absolutely never going to happen. Now, how many times has black this game been faced with the decision to take a piece diagonally with a pawn? They could have played pawn takes knight, pawn takes queen, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes knight. No chance. Following the golden rule that I have already addressed in this video, when you are attacking a piece already and can calmly take it for free, why not attack it again? Have you ever considered now, will white realize that this knight can go back to its only safe square? No chance. No chance. We are now bringing in the queen and going hunting. Now, you see how this black king has like an airy villa in Sicily? Like a lot of wind, olive trees and so on. This king is stuffed up. You gotta make room for your king. In this game, there has been no opportunity. King to c8, and now I ask you once again, will white realize that this knight is absolutely stuck and cannot move and has to go back to a3? Now, this is an exceptional move. Like, that pawn, by the way, that same pawn some 20 moves ago could have taken the queen already. How iconic is it that literally 20 moves later, queen f5, the queen takes the same pawn. You return to the scene of the crime and you take the pawn that could have taken the queen. And pawn takes f5 is now possible. Now, black has had eyes over here for a minute, but obviously you're not going, like the queen has been offered to you. Black again, faced with the very difficult challenge. Can a pawn take another piece diagonally 1 square? Bishop takes b5 was just about the worst move you could have played in that moment, because not only will the queen survive, the queen now can take the rook, which it could not previously do because it was defended by the bishop. Now listen, I respect both players are low on time. I respect that. I get it. I know what it's like to play under pressure. I'm a baby under pressure, but this is some good stuff. We all gotta laugh at this, but not because we feel intellectually superior. A little bit of that, because that's what chess makes you feel. But chess is painful. It is just a painful and hilarious experience at all levels. White plays queen e6, by the way. Black goes king to c7. White White goes queen e5 check. All you got to do at this point is give checks with the queen. There is nothing else your brain can possibly do. Black runs the king to b6. It's fantastic. White gives another check. Now, where's the black king going to run a5? I can't even count the amount of... That king has gone e7, e6, e5, d5, c6. After it went to c6, it went to d7. After it went to d7, it went to d8. Then it went to c8. Then it went to c7, b6, and a5. That king has touched literally every square. That king has literally been on almost every square in its own territory, and obviously the home square. It just missed d6 somehow. This king is a beast. White goes queen e7, hanging the queen in one move. Just pure queen hang. But attacking b7, trying to go here, and maybe trying to win this pawn. Black does not know pieces go backwards. They just don't know that. It's okay. That's not in the patch notes for 100s. They go forward instead. Now, not only is this move simply the blunder of a pawn, and not taking a queen. Queen takes bishop is now mate because the king is going to be locked, and in a few moves, you simply win the game. Queen c5, you have b4 check, and then there's going to be mate very shortly, right? Or you play a4 and b4. White plays... Whoa! Remembering that the rook can play, but just at the worst moment, and not only at the worst moment, the rook points to the defense of the queen, and black goes, oh, I can take the queen! Now white plays rook e7, and now the best part of the game, how do two 100-rated players play a time scramble? 24 seconds for white, and 32 seconds for black. Black is up 8 seconds in this time control. That's a lot of time. 33% advantage. Now, the way you win this position is maybe you sneak a rook to the back rank. Fastest way. Always keep an eye if the opponent's king has no getaway squares. If they do have a getaway square, try to cut that square off with the bishop of that color. So if white went g3 and tried to get out here, you put the bishop over here, protecting the g2 square. None of that matters right now. King a4. At this point, make moves fast. You did not need to spend 4 seconds on king a4. Any move you could have made. b3 check. King a... This king is my spirit animal. Running a marathon in the middle of the game. Rook b7, bishop b5. Incredible stuff. Now rook c8, rook e8, rook d8. I don't care. Bring the rook. Push the pawn. There is no play for white. White doesn't have any play. b4. I don't care. Make any move. Too much time. 3 seconds. Too much time. Doesn't matter. 5-second time advantage. Rook h7. We have bishop c4. We have h4. Bishop a2. Black trading off all the pawns. Now we just start pushing. White plays g3. Black goes bishop g8. That was way too fancy. Black remembered that bishops can go backwards completely randomly and went bishop to g8. That is a completely insane move. h5. Losing the rook in one move, bishop h7 on the board. It is now over, but suddenly black has dipped lower on the clock than white. White is out here just playing every move instantaneously. The rook enters the game, but now black has to remember that pawns can promote. F4. White is pushing everybody, but every single one of those pawns can be captured. Pawn takes h5. When you're playing this deep into the game, you got to eat the pawns. Rook f4, incredible. Just take all the pawns, because if you take all the pawns and you lose on time, it's a draw. Now, we have h6. We have rook f6. We have rook h4. Get the pawn. Bishop e4, not necessary. King h2, get the pawn. We're not getting the pawn. We're giving checks, and we're really down on time. We need to get the pawn. d3, h7, oh my goodness. d2, h8, d1, oh my goodness. But black only has 0.5 seconds on the clock. And in this position, white played the triumphant queen to g8, and black ran out of time. And that is 100 ELO chess. Check out the merch store for real, though, and get out of here.